2008, 2009, 2010, when all this was going on, you basically had this huge demand of utility structures on top of just the regular demand that's going on. And you had manufacturers really from all over the world trying to compete over building material for these lines. And it stressed the system like it's probably never done before.
Absolutely.
And, as a result of that, as you can imagine, when you take manufacturing capacity and you try to double it or triple it, you can run into some real challenges from a manufacturing perspective, a quality perspective, a trades and crafts perspective. So maybe walk me through some of the challenges that you're willing to share related to that, and kind of what maybe drove you into standards and the importance of standards.
Sure. So we started seeing problems, and I can't really get too specific about who and what, but there were quality issues that popped up. There were some issues that popped up that were based on the size of what we were doing. Right, the structures we were using were 150 to 200 foot tall and pretty long spans, and so I personally never put up a pole that big. When you start welding and trying to put that thing together, there are issues that don't show up on the smaller poles.
Yep.
There's the issue, the QA/QC, like you talked about. We didn't reduce our normal budget or anybody else when CREZ came along. We just dumped CREZ on top of it, and so it really pushed and stressed those vendors as well as the labor contract providers. Right. So it was a pretty stressful time for them as well, and I think it exposed some weak spots in some of their processes that we have worked with them to address. But it was the investigation part of it really that got me into where I am now.
Absolutely. And like in any industry, you stress the system like that, you're going to have challenges, and you're working. I mean, most of those plants at the time were working round the clock to produce material 7 days a week. And when you're doing that, it's opportunity for human error to be introduced to what's going on. And the challenge on some of these CREZ lines, it's not a 20-mile line, right? It's hundreds of miles. And so if you have a problem, it's a much bigger problem, right?
There's a lot of it.
There's a lot of it, and it becomes a big challenge.